and starts off well for everyone in your life. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall, Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
This just in, hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has added new strength equipment. Save $28 or more when you join today, and you can be one of the first to try it out. We're raising the bar with new benches, and our new hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all of the best-in-class equipment we've always had, with most clubs open 24 hours, so you can work out your way on your time. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 10th. See Home Club for details.
The Body Lab, located at 14th and Yankee Hill, is Lincoln's premier physical therapy and recovery lab. The Body Lab offers trigger point dry needling, cupping therapy, joint manipulation, and so much more. Looking to relax and relieve stress after a long day or difficult workout? The Body Lab's recovery lab is the ideal spot. Featuring infrared sauna, a cold plunge tub, or if you're just looking for enough space to stretch out and reset your mind. Learn more about memberships and schedule your service today at thebodylablnk.com or visit the Body Lab in person at 14th and Yankee Hill Road.
Hey farmers, join Boyk Farm Outfitters at Precision Planning's Winter Conference happening January 22nd and 23rd at Innovation Campus in Lincoln. At Winter Conference, they'll cover topics like fertilizer inputs, weed management, spraying technologies, and priorities of the planter pass, to name a few. It's your chance to see new research that'll put you and your farm ahead of the curve, and it's free to attend. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, this event's for you. Visit BoykFarmOutfitters.com for all the details and to reserve your spot today.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Outside is where winter adventure unfolds. On frozen lakes, icy landscapes, and snow-covered slopes. Feeling the cold air rush by as you race downhill. The freedom of gliding with ease and the warmth of being together. From epic sled rides to the fun of ice fishing, it's all right here beneath Nebraska skies. Start your winter adventure at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game & Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Associations and this station.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Chancellor Brewington, powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
All right, welcome in. He's back.
What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington? I got the former Husker tight end to my left once again, 402-464-5685. You guys can join in using the Starter Heyman text line. And you can put a face to the voice, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, channel 961. Chancellor Brewington, how's it going on this Thursday night, the 2nd of January, the second day of 2025?
Man, it is going fantastic. It's a great night. It's a great time to be. I'm going to say locker room, man. It's what's brewing. It's what's brewing. What's brewing. And hopefully moving forward, we'll do some more what's brewing on the nighttime. But I'm doing great, man. I hope everyone out there is having a great new year. And the new year, Harrison, it's a time where people set goals. And we all know about the I'm going to get in the gym.
Yeah, the New Year's resolution, 3 weeks in, down the drain.
Fizzle out February 1st, right? But I guess the encouragement for tonight's show, and it's, probably are hearing it from most of your wellness or motivation podcast places, but it's really the motivation really is that it's not really to do something. It's not really to go and do something and go to have something. It's really to become someone new. And I think that's what we miss a lot of times. We go to set a goal. We go to set like, oh, I'm going to do this new year, whatever. But we didn't change like who we are. Some people say like self-image, self-conception. Like we didn't change those things. So our reality isn't going to change. The way we see ourselves didn't change. So honestly, the way other people see us isn't going to change either. So if there's anything to go to work on first before going to try to, climb Mount Everest, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the first thing you should do is to first examine yourself, right? The inscription above the Temple of Apollo in Delphi, Greece, it says, know thyself. And I mean, to know thyself is to study thyself. And I think, honestly, Harrison, the more we learn about like us individually, like I learn more about you.
Mm-hmm.
I learn more about, everyone at the tick. I learn more about, everyone in creation, because we're all the same. We're all made out of the same stuff. We all have, individual personalities and, all these different things. But at the end of the day, we're the same. So I guess my encouragement, motivation, or whatever on this fine, was it Thursday on this fine Thursday night would be to go to work on yourself and don't get things out there to change. Don't try to change the tree, your circumstances, the obstacles, whatever. Change yourself, and eventually something will change.
That's good. I'll just add on, give yourself some grace too.
Yeah.
Especially if it's the New Year's resolution, give yourself some grace. That's why people quit after 3 weeks, because they missed 2 days and they're like, damn, I tried. Nah, it's all right. Yeah, you did try, but just try again. It's cool.
Try again. Or
just don't give up.
Pick something. Right. I mean, think about it though. Like we set out sometimes to do the craziest things and our life is so messy and chaotic. Like,
yeah, that's the class. It's like someone's like about to get evicted and they're like, I'm going to make $100,000 by the end of the year. It's like, let's work on getting a roof.
Make your bed.
Yeah. Start there.
Like let's make your bed maybe, or let's clean up the dishes, or let's start something small, right? And then we can do the apple a day. Let's do the apple a day first before we, try to go, squat 405 pounds, right? First day in the gym, right? Let's just get the apple a day. Let's start on the basic stuff, because every discipline affects the next.
Yeah.
So
you do see a lot of injuries, unfortunately, for people that haven't worked out for a while. You used to think about the day when they used to just hit dingers out of the ballpark.
Yeah.
And you get under that bench press and just pop. Not the same.
It's not the same. It's not the same. So like you said, man, give yourself some grace out there, because I know people is, and I'm no pessimist saying don't go for the home run. I think if there's anything to go for is the home run. I don't think trying to going up to bat and trying to hit a single is smart or is respectable or honorable. I think being realistic is the fastest way to mediocrity. So I believe in being obviously, I wouldn't say unrealistic. I would say unrealistic to most. I would say expanding your vision, expanding your limitations, having no limitations in your mind. I think your mind should be the freest place possible. But then again, like you have to match what you see in your mind to your reality. So the person you see in your mind, honestly, this is why I started reading Harrison, is because the person I was seeing like in my future it wasn't who I saw like in the mirror. Like it wasn't that same person. So I was like, I'm either gonna have to change dramatically or I'm never gonna get there. And it's like through that imagination, like it like put me in inspired action. So yeah.
Let's go with put it. Put a patience in the mix as well.
Yeah.
So especially if you're gonna make those big goals.
Yeah.
You better be patient.
Got
because if we're gonna go back to the ballpark analogy, like you're not gonna walk out there day one and just start beaming it.
Yeah.
Plus 300.
But if I guarantee if you hit the batting cages every day,
yeah, you'll get there eventually.
Go to the gym, hit the batting cages. Don't try to. You don't go up against Randy Johnson first day, right? Maybe we're just hitting some BP balls off the BP coach, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Start somewhere. We got a Big B chiming in here. Some people also need a foundation to build upon to gain that courage. And again, I think that's why it's important you don't want to like make tiny goals, but you want to make at least the ones that you're trying to achieve that day, like make them achievable. Like if it's like by the end of the day, I want to do this, like, especially if you're someone who hasn't worked out, it's easy just to use the workout analogies. But if you're someone who hasn't worked out, like your goal to that day is to start working out, it doesn't mean work out for 5 hours.
Right.
But go hit a jog or a walk, even if you're at a point where you can only walk, like you don't want to kill yourself. You want to work into it to motivate yourself.
Yeah.
So you want to have some wins. If it's all just every day you're taking an L because you're pushing it beyond your means, like you're probably going to give up.
And I think one thing we get into is I think we're definitely in the age of like people are lacking self-confidence. And I think some of that comes from
I think it's social media. I can't put my finger on it.
It's
entirely.
social media, and I think a lot of it is from ignorance.
Yeah.
And so I think ignorance, like it produces doubt, and that produces fear and anxiety and worry and all that stuff. And that obviously, is an unconfident individual, anyone who possesses those traits. And I think the opposite side of ignorance is knowledge or, knowledge. And I think me personally, I might be biased because I'm a reader, but I think the only way to gain knowledge is through studying some material. And it doesn't have to be reading a book. It could be consuming some type of information. Cause I think once you study something, you become knowledgeable about it. And then you understand something, and through understanding, your consciousness is raised, and now you're super confident about it because you're well studied, and you're like, oh wait, hold on, I know exactly how to lose this weight. Like I have, if someone asked me how I'm going to do it, I mean, maybe the goal is I have a C-level goal where I don't really know exactly how to do it. Like you got your A-level goal of like something how to do. Like I know how to do this, and this. And then B level is like your, what you think you can do. And then all of a sudden you got your C level where it's like, I have no idea how to do that. Well, I think you should I think you should aim for the C level, not get frustrated. Like you said, give yourself grace, be patient. But I think in doing that, the more you study, then you come to knowledge, and you're like, hold on, I have enough knowledge, I have enough understanding, and now I'm confident that that C-level goal, I've gained enough understanding that like maybe I don't know like all the steps on how I'm going to get there, but I know it's attainable.
Yeah, and you got the confidence from the smaller steps before.
Yeah.
Go ahead and shoot for it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
That's good motivation there, Brewington. Before we dive anywhere else, how was New Year's for you?
It was great, bro. It was great. I was here. I didn't do nothing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was reading a book.
Yeah, go figure. Yeah. I was laid back pretty much too. Wrapped up early, met up with my guy. Shout out to Adam Lecker. It's birthday today too, so happy birthday to that man. But it's one of those like I had 3 Coors Lights, but wasn't trying to get too crazy because there's a lot of good ball on the next day.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm not like there's something that's really awful about being excited for college football.
Yeah,
and if you're like hungover for that first 11 a.m. kickoff,
yeah,
it's like what are we doing? We played it safe, and it was a great day for college football the next morning.
I was also just in Scottsdale for Christmas, Arizona, so they know how to get down out there, right? Like they know how to.
That's where the waste management.
Yeah. It's out there, so they know how to. Like
oh, absolutely,
put some events together, and how to really get down for New Year. So, coming back out here, I was just like, and I'm probably one of the bigger introverts. Probably I would say in the Midwest. So
that's why you got a radio show.
Yeah. And that make no sense. Makes no sense. Every time I tell someone like in my immediate family, like not immediate, but they already know, but cousins, aunts, uncles, or like whatever. They're like, "You got a radio show?"
Yeah, I guess that, like, it makes sense because I wouldn't necessarily call you an introvert. I just call you reserved.
Yeah.
It's not like you can't do it. It's
Oh,
not
yeah,
like
yeah.
if someone comes up to you, you're like,
I think
hi, I used to play for the Huskers. It's like, nah, you're just.
I got like 3 hours of social battery in me a day.
Yeah,
And
so there you
I
go.
use an hour of it on the radio. And if you get 2 hours out of me, I have to go take a nap immediately.
So you're just like low power mode.
Yeah, like I need to like
You don't want to turn it on.
I'm like the guy at the party, at the the gathering. I hate going to parties, but I'm at the guy at the party that like sits in the corner
Yeah.
and just kind of like watches everyone, and then someone comes and sits with me, and we just have like the most deep intellectual conversation of all time.
See, that's they sit down next to me, and it's like 2 minutes in. They're like, "Who the hell did I sit next to? This guy." No wonder this guy's sitting on the corner by himself. What a loser! No, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. What else you want to talk about? That was a brand right there.
No, man. I mean, we got college football. We got I mean, yesterday. I mean, talking about yesterday, you got the Texas Arizona game.
Yeah, that was
Arizona
by far the
State.
best one so far. Double OT.
Yeah, double OT. Cam Scatterboo got a shout out on Sports Center. I mean, he is the real deal. Last year for ASU, he was doing everything.
Yeah.
He wasn't just doing. I mean, he wasn't just a running back. They had their quarterback go down. They had a bunch of things happen, and so he was their whole offense. I mean, he was playing wildcat quarterback, running back. He was split out, in the slot sometimes. I mean, he was doing pitch option, throwing the ball, like he was doing everything. And so to see him have the success and get the notoriety and, the exposure, and I'm sure the NIL deals that come with that, man, like it's well deserving because last year, ASU had a bunch of holes, and one of them, was an unexperienced quarterback and, a young head coach and a bunch of question marks there to start the season, last in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Last in the Big 12. And then now you fast forward, they win the Big 12 and, everyone's, I'm sure, is excited for next year. Sam Levitt is playing really good ball. I don't know if anyone would have predicted that coming out of Michigan State.
Matt Rule knew. He tried to get him.
Did he?
Yeah, Sam, it's crazy. I was talking about this morning. The quarterbacks on the board for the portal, they killed it because they were looking at Kyle McCord. He killed it at Syracuse this year. They were looking at Will Howard. He's killing it at Ohio State this year. They were looking at Sam Levitt out of Michigan State. He's on a run this year. They could have one of those guys.
They went 3 for 3.
Yeah.
I mean,
we probably would have had one of them. But there was news of Dylan Raiola.
Okay.
This I'll suspect, but that's why they fell through. But
which one would you rather have this year, though?
I
won't tell no one except for this is live.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll be live with it. All those are good options. I'd probably give me Sam Levitt. He was nice. He's been nice this year.
Over Willie?
I might want to take Will Howard, but it's like, man, with that group.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder what Sam Levitt would have done. Like, I feel like Sam Levitt would have been just as successful up at Ohio State.
Do you think,
after what I've seen this year?
Sam Levitt and Raiola, you think Raiola beats out Levitt? Or Sam beats out Raiola?
If you're one of those, what year is Levitt in now? Junior?
I would believe, yeah, because he played a year at Michigan State.
You're probably going with Raiola still then. If it was one of those situations where, like, it would have made sense last year if Raiola would have been cool with it. The problem is he probably wasn't. That's probably why you end up having those guys not come here.
Right.
But, like, if he could sit for a year and you let Levitt ball out, and then if you think Raiola is ready, and then that next year you go ahead and plug and play him. Otherwise, you got another year of Levitt. But
yeah,
in that perfect world, you're never going to get your 5-star quarterback to sit out for 2 years straight.
Yeah, I mean, I think about there's Michigan has a 5-star quarterback coming in, big recruit coming in. I'm sure he's coming in January.
Portnoy money, got him there.
Yeah, that's it. You said what?
Dave Portnoy.
That's it.
He's paid a ton of NIL money.
Oh, he's paid him a bunch of.
Yeah, I mean, not him directly, but just an insane booster and I don't know what their collective is.
Got you. So I know he's coming there, and Michigan just got a quarterback commit, Mikey Keene from Fresno State. He was first at UCF, went to Fresno State, played decent this year, right? But played really good against Michigan, right? So you kind of think about, him competing against a 5-star established guy, right? He played college football, at 2 places, decent level. I wouldn't say crazy high level, not like Quinn Ewers or anything. And we'll talk about him in a second, but he's, if let's say like just pure numbers in spring and spring camp and fall camp, Mikey King from Fresno State beats out the 5-star. I think you still have the 5-star get the nod a little bit. Because he's going to, first of all, he's 5-star. I'm sure you're paying him all this money. And also he's going to be there. So I understand the philosophy of like, if Sam Levitt came to Nebraska this past year and him and Raiola in camp were eye and eye, like, level.
Mm-hmm.
You probably go with the nod to Raiola. And then you can just always put Levitt in and say, yeah, Raiola wasn't ready yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good backup plan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's also one of those things like maybe this worked out best to get a year of Dylan Raiola. That experience.
Facts.
And like go ahead and get it out of the way. Like you still improved from last season despite having a true freshman quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback play was certainly an upgrade. Where are you at? Because I haven't really talked to you at all about the Pinstripe Bowl, any of the stuff like postseason. Right. So where are you at with like Dylan Raiola, just for a grade after year 1?
I would say probably like a C-. Yeah.
So below average.
Yeah. I would say C's I guess you could say below average.
I'm at C, so I'm not too far off either way.
Okay. You made me feel a little bad right there.
No, that's what C- is.
Yeah. 72.
Say it with your chest.
I'm not saying like a 70. I'm a 72. Like you did all right. Like you got some grace for the final. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's not bad too. It's like you're a rookie, true freshman. I'm not expecting. He looked like a true freshman quarterback, and he looked like a 5-star at times.
Yeah,
it's exactly kind of what I thought you were going to get out of it.
It's the post-Illinois game for me. It's like everything went down. That Purdue, it was more so after Purdue game. You had a bunch of PIs and a bunch of stuff, and then all of a sudden, everything just went downhill from Purdue to even in the Rutgers game. You talk about the Indiana game, Ohio State game. Still, like there were some still missed opportunities. Could have won that one.
Yeah, and he was. It's not all just on Satterfield and the play calling. Like there's times where
you could have helped him out.
He failed to execute on a pass that was there, but also to his side, there was times where it's like, let's go ahead and pick a running back. We got this guy named Emmett Johnson. He's really good. We won't find out till the end of the season, even though we all know.
It was really like everything was out of sync. Everything was out of touch. And like,
there's nothing we excelled at yet.
Everything, I would say this within the offense, like things that, if you got a hole here, you got a hole somewhere else. Like if you got a bunch of holes, like, if you just say, we just don't play that running back, whatever, then he pops up and does whatever, like there's going to be a hole somewhere else. Right. And then the hole was really the receiver, like that matched with the running backs. And then, all of a sudden we had O-line struggles, and then Raiola was missing reads. And then, we're not blocking on the perimeter and we're not running the right routes. We're forgetting routes first play against Indiana. Like there was like too many things. Like there wasn't just one area. It was like a domino effect of just snowball of issues. So, for them, the fix is easy. Just become more detailed and practice harder, right? And bring in more. You got, what's his name? Hunter from Cal, Dan Key from Kentucky. You're bringing in some guys, right? My question is first of all, the guys that are still here, you got Jalen Lloyd that leaves, right? So, guys are going to be pushed, I would say, in that receiver room. Who's going to emerge? I would say that's the question. And a guy that first comes to mind is Ja'Cory Barney. And I got a hot take, and I think he's a good ball player. The thing I've seen in college football, this really has nothing to do with Ja'Cory. The thing I've seen in college football is guys like that, they never really reach their ceiling because they stay in the same role. Like you got your guy who catches the tunnel screens, the guy who, does the jet sweeps, who's the vertical threat, but he never really reaches his full potential because he stays in that role the whole time, and coaches put him in that role, and then they just bring in guys to plant otherwhere. So they'll have, what's his name? Nakia Hunter from Cal, what's his name?
Oh, yeah. Hunter. I'm not going to try to butcher it.
Yeah, I just butchered it. Sorry, bro. But Dane Key from Kentucky, like those are real outside receivers, right? So if you keep Ja'Cory kind of at this limited slot role of this, and this, and
that's a good point. You could argue that's the trap Lloyd fell into, right? That weird slot role, not really.
And then, but it's like
but Bonner's there because we like it for the run game more.
Right.
So you only get in on unique packages, even though you're this highly touted. And then before you know it, Boyd hits the door.
And then it's almost like it doesn't force you as a competitor to sharpen those other skills.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like, hey, like you're a slot receiver, you don't play that role, you're a slot receiver, we just use you in different ways. Now that's a whole nother whole nother ball game, whole nother discussion than, this is your role, and we keep you over here, right? So I think if you're Ja'Cory Barney, now to get a little more personal on this level, if you're Ja'Cory Barney, I think it's now the conversation and the intention of approaching the offseason, spring, first of all, getting your body right, because the freshmen that are going through this transition, like Carter Nelson, Dylan Raiola, Vincent Shavers, those guys, their bodies, Gunnar Gattulo, their bodies are going to have to develop freshman and sophomore year. But it's also for Ja'Cory, it's like, you got to make sure you are showing you can do everything, that you don't need to come off the field for anything.
I do like Dana, though, being more creative.
Yeah.
I think like he's not, I think we kind of saw that right away with Emmett Johnson. Like he's not willing to let talent just sit there. Like he's not.
Right.
Even though Dante was good, like he still utilized Dante, but when Dante was most effective. Like if Ja'Cory Barney is better than one of those wide receivers, one of the portal guys coming in, like I think we've seen it with Rule and the staff too. They're pretty willing to go ahead and plug in the young guys. So I mean that's the hope, because I will say like kind of took a little bit at moments this year with that offense to move guys around and plug and play and finally get that rhythm. And it wasn't really until Dana get onto there. And a lot of it wasn't even personnel change. Like there was a lot of it was, I feel like he must have just like walked into that locker room in those first few practices and just kind of pointed out a lot of ugly film.
Yeah.
Because it felt like just small things. Because I mean, did that offense look drastically different? And then what was it? USC first game he coached?
Yeah, USC, and then the big jump Wisconsin game.
Yeah. And I didn't like, nothing looked drastic to me ever.
Yeah, it just seemed like they got simple in the run game. Like they just stuck with what they wanted to do. And yeah,
they just got to like 2nd and 7 and 2nd and 4 more than 2nd and 10. It felt like the only difference.
And I think what the air raid was going to provide moving forward is like simplicity for Raiola, but also like the complex part of it being simple, which is, kind of a paradox, but it's true, is that defensive has to adjust somehow, because you're always going to have RPOs off of simple run schemes. You're always going to have Raiola, an option to do this, and this, right? And probably moving forward, freedom for Raiola to, especially evolving into the player he's going to become as a sophomore, getting a whole offseason, being able to like call different things, right? And being able to, hot route this and, tag receivers when he sees matchups he likes, right?
And I think he'll be a lot better with his legs too.
Yeah.
Like he'll be able to just kind of feel it a lot earlier, being like, this is dead.
Yeah.
I might as well just wait to see Sliver and then take a late slide and get in somee's face.
Yeah. The one thing I would love to see is the ball out of his hands as quick as possible.
That seems like just such a young QB problem though.
Well, I think it's the scheme too. So I think the scheme should always be, I mean, not always, of course, you want to take a shot here and there, but for the most part,
like a little more of a West Coast or.
Yeah. I mean, air raid is, when I think of air raid, I don't think of taking shots. I think of always throwing the ball. We'll take a throw, a hitch out to the whatever, instead of taking a 5-yard run, right? Like,
that makes sense.
Just get the ball out as fast as possible. I think that will help Raiola out. And I think that's his play style. I'm not going to say he wants to be like Mahomes, but he does the antics, right? Got the swag like him, has the throwing angles, has the arm angles, all that good stuff, dresses like him. But
same trainer. Yeah,
same trainer and same mechanics. And one deal with that is if you watch the Chiefs, Mahomes gets the ball out and, like below 1 second, like 1 to 2 seconds, like the ball's out right away. So I think Nebraska can adopt a lot of that and make their offense a lot more effective in that way.
Yeah, and seriously, if he wants to be Mahomes, like again, it's like such an easy thing to say. It's like, you got to run more, but you really do. I mean, that Mahomes,
he's gonna
10-yard scamper is such a killer for defenses, because that's the one play where the defense can truly do everything right. But if you have that awareness, it doesn't matter.
I think the one thing for him is more so, I don't think he was forced to do that in high school. like that was something comfortable for him. So I think now it's going to be a thing where, like, okay, I understand, like, we had a bunch of problems with the sliding before the sticks, right? And when to slide and when to, avoid contact on your throwing shoulder, and when to get this first down. Like, there's a time where you got to nut
Drop
up
the
and,
shoulder,
hey,
and let's
come
go
on,
get
like it's big dog time. Like, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1.
Heartbreak setters every time, but like everyone's got a learning curve.
Yeah, and so I think now that. I think now the strength staff first, are kind of going to know, like, okay, with his body type, with this and this, we need to work a little bit more mobility, a little bit more acceleration, decel, all these different things, change of direction, more than the top end speed stuff with him, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be more so that type of work, right? So, and then for a guy like, I don't know, Luke Lindenmeyer, it's going to be a complete different thing. I would work more top end speed with him and a little bit more strength and getting his body a little bit slimmer.
Didn't he hit the portal?
Lindenmeyer?
Or no, is it just Borkature?
Borkature, yeah, he's at A&M.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Lindenmeyer's still here.
He's at A&M, and this is allegedly, and this is not facts, but there's just been like weird talk about Fedoni, and I don't know. I don't know what's going on, and it's interesting. I thought if there was anyone going to leave, it was going to be Fedoni.
Yeah, and you could see it. It's another guy where it's like, kind of like Adrian. It's like, listen, man, you've been in so much blood, sweat, and tears. Like, whatever you decide, I'm not going to hate you for it.
Yeah.
You've been here for a minute, grinding it out.
And he stayed for the bowl game, and I respect it. And
I hope he stays, too. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
Best case scenario, he stays, and he has a very memorable year, and we get to root there for him.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
I'm with you. We do got to throw the break. We're going way over here. No worries. We'll shorten it up on the next two segments. This is What's Brewing. Chancellor Brewington, Harrison Arns on the board, back here, 1040 O Street on the corner at the Ticket Studios. We'll talk to you on the other side.
Did you know that AmeriCorps programs improve lives, strengthen communities, and foster civic engagement in Nebraska? For example, AmeriCorps members serving with International Council for Refugees and Immigrants help students from refugee and immigrant families overcome cultural barriers and adapt to life in Nebraska. Discover more about AmeriCorps programs making a difference in your community at serve.nebraska.gov. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Outside is where winter adventure unfolds. On frozen lakes, icy landscapes, and snow-covered slopes. Feeling the cold air rush by as you race downhill. The freedom of gliding with ease and the warmth of being together. From epic sled rides to the fun of ice fishing, it's all right here beneath Nebraska skies. Start your winter adventure at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Associations and this station.
This is how we do every day. We be grinding, and if you want to come and text us,
if you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music.
This is Mommy's jam.
Then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
There's no better way to spark a child's imagination than to get lost in the adventure of a good book. I'm Jenny Benson, president of NSEA. Working together, parents and teachers can help every child succeed. You can help by reading to your child and let your child read to you. Encourage reading in your home and make it a priority. Make reading fun and a time that you and your child look forward to spending together.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Outside is where winter adventure unfolds. On frozen lakes, icy landscapes, and snow-covered slopes, feeling the cold air rush by as you race downhill. The freedom of gliding with ease and the warmth of being together. From epic sled rides to the fun of ice fishing, it's all right here beneath Nebraska skies. Start your winter adventure at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Associations and this station.
There's no better way to spark a child's imagination than to get lost in the adventure of a good book. I'm Jenny Benson, president of NSEA. Working together, parents and teachers can help every child succeed. You can help by reading to your child and let your child read to you. Encourage reading in your home and make it a priority. Make reading fun and a time that you and your child look forward to spending together.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Back to What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
All right, welcome back in. What's Brewing? Chancellor Brewington, Harrison Arns on the 1s and 2s. And like I said, the former Husker to my left. You guys can join in 402-464-5685 and join in on the streams as well. Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo channel 961. If you got Allo cable, we only got a little bit of time here left on this second segment. So I'll just ask you this. Since it is the end of the year, we haven't really had a whole lot of opportunities to do this show with the schedule fluctuation. Give me your best sports moment of the year.
Of the year. Wow. Geez, Harrison.
You can even give me a few. I won't make you rank them or
I'm trying to think.
Definitively say this was the best part.
Super Bowl last year didn't really have one. Or this past year.
Yeah.
With the Chiefs and what was that 49ers?
Yeah, Chiefs 49ers.
Yeah, so it didn't really have one there.
Nebraska Big Ten baseball always sticks out. I don't know why.
Are we talking about just Nebraska?
It could be anything.
Oh, okay.
But for some reason, Nebraska winning the Big Ten in baseball was because they lost their first game to Indiana. And right off the bat, you're like, what the hell? Here we go again. And then because it's double elimination, and then they just beat Indiana once, then they won again, and they just rattled off and didn't lose after dropping the first game. So that was electric.
You know what I might say?
It's going to be something about the Lakers. When they drafted Bronny?
No.
Did you cry?
No.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I didn't cry, bro. I think when Braun won the MVP of the Olympics, bro.
That was a good moment. I will say just Team USA was awesome.
Or Braun won the MVP, but I mean.
He didn't win the MVP. Jokic just won that, 3 years in a row now?
He was the best, or he was a gold. He got a gold medal, and he was the best player on the team.
Oh yeah, the USA MVP.
Yeah,
I'll tip my cap.
That's what I said. Awesome. What do you think I said?
I thought you meant like regular MVP, and I was like, Jokic just had that locked up. But
Yeah, I can't think of anything else that would even come close to that.
that was pretty good. I'm not
Or
even
his
gonna hate on you
birthday.
for it. That's a sick thing to say. What's your favorite sports memory of the year? LeBron's birthday. After everything happened, you know what's sad is there's people like that out there.
Bro, I seen a
that got inspired to be
seen
more
a
open about it.
I seen a TikTok of a friend group going out to eat for LeBron's birthday, and they put his jersey next to it. Bro, that is hilarious, bro. But no, I'm not that super fan. I was completely joking on the LeBron thing. Honestly, like sports moment. I mean,
is Pinstripe Bowl even up there, or is this just like expected?
Like for me, like no.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't really see it as that much big of a deal.
It's just something tangible to make us all feel better. It's not an all-time moment for me because that's kind of sad, I think, if I put it there.
Yeah.
But it was a good moment.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool. It's like
I'd say Colorado though. That one is one of the best.
Tommy Hill's pick. That was pretty cool.
I mean, because at that you got to remember, like that one maybe falls off the list because of how you feel now. But if you really think about how you felt at that after the Colorado game, you're like, oh my Lord.
You thought Nebraska was gonna be in the Natty. I mean, they were going Natty.
You heard college football playoff talks.
They were
after that.
They were going to the Natty.
They by my account,
they was your favorite team. They was your favorite team.
Yeah. Well, and then you had the warm embrace of the rest of the college football community.
Yeah,
because everybody hated Colorado.
Joe Klatt Joe Klatt had injected Matt Rule and Big Red in his veins for 3 weeks, and then after Illinois game, after Purdue game, nobody talked about Nebraska until Ohio State halftime.
Yep,
and then
it was like, hey,
and then it just went right back down the drain. We lost to UCLA next week.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was probably the
worst.
worst.
Ohio State. Then it was Indiana. No, Ohio State.
Then UCLA. Because that was the big thing was like, how do you go from, almost being Ohio State to UCLA?
Yeah.
But that's kind of how Nebraska has been, though.
Yeah, inconsistent has been our consistency.
There you go, philosopher over there.
Yeah,
what book is that? Is that Plato or Socrates?
Plato's.
Yeah,
that guy.
No, but I mean, yeah, I don't really have one. Had some. I feel like it was a mellow year in sports, or maybe I didn't watch enough sports. I don't know what happened in the baseball world.
Baseball, man. I mean, you can like, if you're a big baseball fan, you're probably going to throw the Shohei Ohtani record out there.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty insane to be that elite of a pitcher and then to hit that many dingers. I don't think he got to 60. I think he was just short of 60 home runs. But
it's insane.
Yeah, for your pitcher to be that good.
Yeah.
But it was one of those years where it's like, you can sit there and say how phenomenal of a MLB playoff run it was, and there was really great moments, but it was all kind of expected. You ended up with the two highest paying teams facing off, and the team that pays the most won. So,
yeah,
I mean, fun, yes. Expected, yeah. So it's not really like what a crazy
like,
moment.
oh my gosh.
Yeah. No. Like I've had more fun watching Nebraska basketball beat Purdue in their regular season game. Like that was awesome.
Something's up with baseball, man. It's like after COVID, I would say the last real year that I was watching baseball was Dodgers 2019.
What changed?
I don't know. Probably the pitch count.
Do you like that?
Or the pitch clock?
Yeah, the pitch clock.
It's like
I like it when I'm watching it on TV.
I think
the game goes over.
I think it like takes a little bit of like the integrity of the game out, just a little bit.
There's so many unwritten baseball rules, though. Your baseball is like one of those things you can't touch it, otherwise someone's gonna say, "Hey, you're ruining the integrity of the game." It's such an old.
Well, it's just like
many unspoken rules.
I mean, think about it, Harrison. You throw. You got 15 seconds. I mean, you get your play, boom, boom. You throw the ball, get the ball back. You got 15 seconds to line up and throw another pitch.
Yeah.
And you have to think about, like, guys' arms weren't ready for that.
Well, that's why there's a pitch count. Analytics took the integrity out of the game a long time ago. Because you don't even get the fun matchups.
It's AI.
AI's right.
It's the damn robots.
Yeah, it really
That's what it is. I mean, point the finger of blame, why won't you?
It's not us. It's those damn robots. All right, we'll throw it to break here. We got one more segment on the other side. Chancellor Brewington, Harrison Arden's back here at the Ticket Studios. Don't go anywhere. Like I said, one more segment. Talk to you in a little bit.
The dangers of secondhand smoke are well known. But what about secondhand aerosol, which is created when using e-cigarettes? Science already shows a secondhand aerosol can contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing agents. Eliminating exposure to secondhand aerosol is an important step to keeping everyone safe. Breathe easier knowing the facts.
For help quitting, call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Did you know that AmeriCorps programs improve lives, strengthen communities, and foster civic engagement in Nebraska? For example, AmeriCorps members serving with Conservation Nebraska provide valuable environmental education and practical tips people can use to maintain Nebraska's natural beauty and live more sustainable lives. Discover more about AmeriCorps programs making a difference in your community at serve.nebraska.gov. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station. Did you know that AmeriCorps programs improve lives, strengthen communities, and foster civic engagement in Nebraska? For example, members serving with AmeriCorps programs like Partnership for Kids provide kids with the support they need to succeed in school and prepare for their dream career. Discover more about AmeriCorps programs making a difference in your community at serve.nebraska.gov. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People Seeding Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, and share it with my doctor. Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
There's no better way to spark a child's imagination than to get lost in the adventure of a good book. I'm Jenny Benson, president of NSEA. Working together, parents and teachers can help every child succeed. You can help by reading to your child and let your child read to you. Encourage reading in your home and make it a priority. Make reading fun and a time that you and your child look forward to spending together.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
All right, welcome back in. Final segment. What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington, former Huskers to my left, Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. You guys can join in or join the streams before we wrap up things here on Ticket Weeknights for the first show of Ticket Weeknights on the new year. Hopefully, everyone had a good new year. But Chancellor Brewington, we got about like 5 minutes left here.
5 minutes.
Yeah, where do you want to go with it?
5 minutes. I mean, we start off the show with resolutions, and I guess we can finish it a little bit more of just talking about the goals we're setting for the new year, things we want to accomplish. And I think that starts with forming an image in the mind. And I don't want to get wonky and I don't want to get weird. I don't want to get weird because I just told something off air to Harrison, and he probably thinks I'm a little weird, right? But I will say this is that everyone who's accomplished something great, if you go and study it, they've all had a picture of it in their mind. Every single one of them. The Wright brothers, Thomas Edison, anyone, Henry Ford, Charles Schwab,
Einstein,
Andrew Carnegie, Napoleon Hill. If you go study anyone, I mean, if you study them, you'll understand that it all happens in the mind. It all happens with some type of image. So get involved with it too. Like get emotionally involved with it. Get emotionally invested in it. Napoleon Hill says something awesome. Or
Napoleon Hill.
Andrew Carnegie. Napoleon Hill wrote Think and Grow Rich.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so the dude who commissioned him to write that book, Andrew Carnegie, he said this. He said, any idea that is held in the mind, that is emphasized, that is either feared or revered, will begin at once to clothe itself in the most appropriate physical forms available. So what does that mean? I mean, the two most radical forms of emotion, I would say, are faith and fear, right? So, when we talk about the mind, getting something impressed in the subconscious, I mean, if you go, you want to get a little bit spiritual and you want to go a little bit more Bible, look in the book of Job. I mean, the thing that I feared most has came upon me. Like, so it's the things that we are either fearful of or the things that we have faith for. Those things have to get manifested in our life. But yeah, like I just want to encourage people, because at the end of the day, I think we are living in a society that doesn't necessarily want to talk about doing something great. Like we just want to blend in, and I am 1,000%, not even 1,000%. I am 100,000,000% against blending in and being like anyone else. And I think I was talking to someone today. I think anyone can do anything that they set their mind. If you believe you can do it, I think the only criteria for making it happen is if you believe. Like, believe, and my belief will make it a fact. Like that's the criteria. That's the checklist. Do you believe? Yes. Okay, it's gonna happen. Do you believe? No, it's not gonna happen. Like, he who thinks he can and he who thinks he can are both right. Like, and so, if there's anything to go into the year with, if there's anything to tell yourself throughout the day, because our innermost thoughts, our self-speech, is the most dominant thing, and that's really who we are, is what we say inside our head all day, and what we say, behind closed doors when we go home and nobody's around. Like, that inner thought, like, that's really who we are, and that's really how we see ourselves. If there's anything to help change that and affirmations to change it, I would say is I can do everything. Like, I can do anything I set my mind to. I got reservoirs of unlimited potential inside me. And that's my little rant, though. But I think it's necessary. I don't think, some people, I think the people who know this type of stuff sometimes don't tell people, because first of all, they're like, man, I don't know if they're going to do it. But at the end of the day, it's not really your job. If you have this information, it's not your job to judge who's going to do with it and who's not going to do with it. Right. I think your obligation is to share it with others, because if you have a conviction about a truth in your life, if you have conviction about truth and that you believe is truth, I mean, you have the obligation to share it with whoever and whenever. I mean, obviously you don't want to beat it down people's throats, Pauls, but like you just want at the end of the day, you want people to better their lives, right? But yeah.
All right. New Year's resolution, Chancellor. What do you got?
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I can say it on here, but it would probably
might be not a good New Year's resolution then if you're not. What do you mean?
I would know. It's like it's out. I mean, it's more so personal.
I'm gonna double up my bank robberies this year.
I'm like, no. Don't put me on that. Like, no, I'm saying like it's more so of a goal. Like it's a goal that I don't know if I can share. I only share to one person.
All right, that's cool. You can keep it to yourself. Yeah, like, as long as you know what it is.
Oh yeah, and I
got accountability.
And I believe it's already happened.
Okay, I'll share mine. Read more books. I don't know if I'm gonna get to that Brewington level.
Give me a like shoot for a number though.
It's always tough to say. Like, what is it? Because
what you want a book, Harrison? I got a book for you, man. Until I read 1984.
Yeah, until you read. Yeah. Until you get some good old George Orwell. You haven't touched fine literature yet. Nah, that's crazy. There's more than just him. But yeah, I don't know. That's always a tough one because you can't really say read X amount of books because they're all just a variety of pages. Like, what's a good amount of pages a man should read if he wants to really be dedicated to like actually reading books throughout the course of a year? Like, how many pages? Yeah, a week.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
All right, I got to read at least a book a month, otherwise I completely failed.
12 books.
Yeah, 12 books.
Read 12 books.
That's manageable.
Yeah, there you go.
Because like that's a book a month. If I can't get a book down in a month, that's like that's on me. And then it still leaves me time where I could easily double up and get 2 books a month.
Yeah, then you get a book a week eventually, and then you're at 100 books, Harrison. That's how it starts.
Then I'm Chancellor Brewington.
No,
of course not, because I read George Orwell. All right, that's the last time for that bit. I don't even think it was that funny. I'll be honest.
No, that's pretty funny, bro.
All right.
Because we had a prior conversation.
Yeah, I think that was good. Maybe funny to us. Apologies to the listeners, but don't worry, it wraps up anyways.
You could probably go to the local bar with that one.
Yeah, all right. Something like that. Appreciate you guys listening. This has been What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. Chancellor Brewington. Shout out to him, the co-host, is always to my left. Harrison Arns back here at the studio. It's going to do it for us. Enjoy the rest of your night.